Hi, in this lesson, we're going to look at how we can use variables to size and position graphics in our Python graphics programs. But first, why is this important? Using variables in place of static values in our graphics programs give the same benefits as using variables in our console programs. First, variables allow our code to be cleaner and easier to debug because the variable names describe their use. In our graphics programs, variables allow the output from one program to be positioned and sized the same way regardless of a changing canvas size, and allows us to resize and reposition items efficiently and effectively. Now let's see how to do this. In the last lesson, we created the flag of Japan using the top left and bottom right coordinates of the circle that were determined based on the constant values we were given. When we run this program, we see that the flag looks as we intended, but if the size of our canvas changes, our circle is no longer centered on our flag. If we use variables instead of static values to size and position our circle, we can have a program that looks as intended no matter the canvas dimensions. Let's see how to do this. If we no longer know the values of our constants, we can simply use the variables in their place. Let's first look at finding the x-coordinate of the top left point. We can now use the variable canvas width to represent the entire canvas length, which means that half of this length would just be canvas width divided by 2. If we subtract the value of circle radius, we'll find the x-coordinate of that point, no matter what the actual numbers are. Now let's figure out the y position of this point. We can now use the variable canvas height in place of a static value, which means that half of this height would just be canvas height divided by 2. If we subtract the value of circle radius, we'll find the y-coordinate of that point is half the canvas height minus the radius of the circle. To find the x-coordinate of the bottom right point, we follow the same steps, but instead of subtracting the radius of the circle, we add it to half the canvas width. And to find the y-coordinate of the bottom right point, we add the circle radius to half the canvas height. Let's see this in the editor. You'll see that we're starting our program with a 400 by 300 white canvas. We now want to use canvas width and canvas height to control our values because we don't want our canvas to be static anymore. Nothing will actually change when we put these variables inside our canvas values. Now we need to draw our red circle. And instead of just typing all of our x and y coordinates directly into our create oval command, we're going to write the top x, top y, bottom x, and bottom y variables all separate, and then in our create oval command, we can use top x, top y, bottom x, and bottom y to keep our command a little bit shorter, because as we'll see, once we start using variables, our values are going to start getting pretty long. So we realized during our planning that the top x coordinate is going to be canvas width divided by 2 minus circle radius. Our top y is going to be canvas height divided by 2 minus circle radius. The bottom x is going to be canvas width divided by 2 plus circle radius. And the bottom y is canvas height divided by 2 plus circle radius. Let's see how that looks. Great. Now we know that we want it to be filled in with a color red, and we can use our empty outline attribute to make sure that we don't have that black outline. Perfect! Now it's your turn to write Python graphics programs using variables.